Hey, welcome back to the channel. So today I thought what we talk about is finding parts. How to find the correct parts that you need. And most of it involves doing online parts lookups, okay? And a lookup is just simply, you know, taking the model number, punching it in, and having parts diagrams so that you can find the specific part that you want. And then where to find them, where to locate them, and so forth. So I hope you stick around and stay tuned. All right, so one of the biggest things, whether you're doing a small engine parts business where, you're doing it on the side or, provide extra income, or you're a homeowner and you're trying to figure out how do I find the right parts for my machine. And this is probably not going to be much for you guys that have already got accounts with, Briggs and Kohler and all the other ones, because as a dealer, we have a portal that we go through, and I'll show you that as well, for like Briggs and Simplicity and Ferris and all those as a dealer. But this is more geared towards the homeowner. If you're out there and you got a weed eater and what have you, you want to do your own carburetor kit on it, and you've watched YouTube videos, but you're not sure which kit to get. This is the video for you. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing we need to know is we need to know what the model number is. Now, we've talked about this before, that when you have we'll say a Cub Cadet, an LT 1500, all right? Now, normally underneath the seat, you flip up the seat, there's usually a model number, and it's like a 13A, and on and on. Now that's going to help you find all the parts for the body and the chassis. But what it's not going to help you find is if you want a carburetor for that lawnmower. And why is that? Because a lot of these lawnmowers and I mean just everything, generators, that they can put like 5 to 6 different applications of engines on those units. And they do that. Some come with a Kohler engine, some come with a Briggs engine, Tecumseh engine, Honda engine. So when we're looking up parts for a lawnmower, if we're looking up for lawnmower blades, spindles, deck parts, front axles and all that stuff, we can go by the model number underneath the seat on most of your MTD products, okay? And some of the things that are going to help you also is on a lot of them, if you lift the hood up, and right on the hood, it'll give you part numbers for the most common, like belts and blades and so forth, right underneath there. But there you have to be careful too, so that you don't end up with what we call a Frankenstein machine where somebody has thrown it together. But if you've bought it brand new, or somebody that bought it new and they're updating or they're getting rid of it because they no longer want it, and that it's not a Frankenstein machine, that it's still the machine from the factory with the same engines and so forth, then you should be all right. But just be careful of the Frankenstein machines. They will get you. All right. So, depending upon what part you're looking for, if you're looking for any part on that engine, and that's carburetors, carburetor kits, needles, seats, all that stuff, that's going to fall under the engine category. And now on Briggs, on the valve covers, and it's usually in the front, there's silver covers. On one of those, there's going to be a model and type. And that's the number that we need to go for to find the right parts for that Briggs engine. Kohler has usually got a tag on it that you can, it's a family tag, whatever. It's located on the cowl or close to the cowl that covers the actual engine. Honda, pretty much, if it's a GX series, GX, one, what have you, that's your model number. But this is where Google can be your best friend when it comes to picking parts. And what I see time and time again, and this is something that you have to be very careful of, okay? And that is, let's say you have a steel MS 170 and you're looking for a carburetor kit or a replacement carburetor, one or the other. I know a lot of people that are going over to eBay and Amazon and punching in steel MS 170 carburetor, and you get all these listings. What the Chinese are doing on their listings, and this isn't fair and it's not right, but it's being done, is that they will say this one carburetor will fit all these models, when in fact it won't. And I've even seen pictures of their carburetor and looking at the carburetor that I've got, and it's not even remotely close. But they say that it will fit on that application. So it's better if you could do the parts lookup and find the actual carburetor part number and then come at it at that direction, if that makes any sense. Alright, so let's get started here. Let me get my glasses out. And let's go to moving this so that you no longer see me. Now this here is Rotary, and you can order parts. This is a dealer website, and if you guys that want to become Rotary dealers, I highly recommend them. They're a good outfit to be with, as well as Stens. Stens is a good business, an aftermarket company to deal with. Those are the two main ones that we use, are Stens and Rotary. Less Stens because we've had issues in the past. No knock on the company, it just some BS. But us as dealers, we also have like dealer portals, and with this we could take and get everything from a Murray to a Briggs to a Fair, Oregon, Simplicity, Snapper, Snapper Pro, and a Walbro carburetor. Those are what this company carry for OEM brand products. And you can start with a model number that you're looking for. Delete that. I was hoping that I would have one there. And all right, so what I did was I was looking for, this is one that we've had in the past. I don't even know which one it is. But it's a Briggs & Stratton, and it contains this model and type. And then I can simply click on it and it starts loading. And now I can do the air cleaner, where it's a breakdown of all the parts, to governors, or the electronic part of it, the coils, and we can jump down to the carburetor. And within the carburetor, for this particular model, it's telling me that let's go to, there's two different carburetors for that particular model, and you have to go by date code, and the date code is on that engine. You just got to look for it sometimes. And if you're looking to replace the whole carburetor, you're going to need to know that. Now, this one here is a carburetor kit, and again, it gives you the use before date code and the use after date code, and that's on that engine itself. So you need to know if it's after this date, then we're going to need that part number here, which is a 594636. See, if you're a dealer, you can just simply click on that and come over here and then just simply add to cart, and it will tell me what the list price is, what my cost is. You can see there's not a very big markup with big Briggs parts. List is what the majority of your dealers are going to charge. This is what my actual cost is, and that's before shipping, because I have to pay shipping to get that in too. So most dealers try to build an order so that they're more than just one part on that order, because it's going to cost around $12, $14 to ship it. And by that time, it's over, what list price is. So that's one way. So the other way is to take and just copy, and then we can run over to eBay, pop that number in, paste, and search. And now we can find them in the aftermarkets for a lot less. See, this is new old stock, so that's why that's $14. But you just saw I have to pay $23 right now if I want it. And we could do the same thing with Amazon. If we want to take and paste into Amazon, search Amazon. See, now you're getting up to the higher end. Here's one for $2.99. But they're all the correct carburetor kit. And I find it hard to tell my customers that are doing their own work on certain things that one's better than the other. The OEM is going to cost you $28. If you go online, you can get them for $12, $14, but they're aftermarkets and so forth. It saves you money. So for you guys that are just starting a shop and stuff like that, I wouldn't think twice about ordering one that for $12.95, and it's free shipping on Amazon. If we go back to Briggs, it's $9.95 is free shipping. So now let me just, for shits and giggles here, see if Rotary carries it in the aftermarket. And they do. But now for the aftermarket, my cost is $10.96, and they suggest $30.49. So the suggested list is somewhere in that ballpark. An OEM Briggs, they list it as $28. So if you're a dealer and you're on Rotary, it's going to cost you $10.96 plus shipping, unless you reach their $150 order threshold, which isn't very hard if you're doing very much business. And I would assume that Sten's has got it too, but I'm not going to log into them. Nope, Sten's doesn't carry that carburetor kit. So Rotary is the only one that's carrying that carburetor kit in the aftermarkets. So it is available. And I'm going to order you the $10.96 one quicker than I will the $23, unless my customer says, this is what I want. Now, another way to do it is, let me go. Let's say we're working Homelight Super 2 parts diagram, which this is kind of, it's hard to get parts for it because they're no longer available. Well, I recommend jacks, and Parts Trees is another good one. E-Replacement's been around since I've been around. These guys all came online about the same time I did. So I consider them friends. So let's go with Jack's, because Jack's has got a pretty good setup. And now Jack's is owned by a company, but not Jack anymore. I remember when it was just Jack working out of his house. All right, so let's say we want for that particular machine, let's take a look here, make it bigger. Let's say we want a carburetor for it. So that's not in that one, so let's jump over to this one. And increase in size. Okay, there's the carburetor for that Super 2 for the HomeLink. Click on it, and here's the issue. This is what you're going to run into with a lot of the older stuff, is that it's no longer available. That HomeLink number. Now, if I take it, copy it, I'm just going to try Rotary quick just to see if they've got it. Okay, they don't. So, in that case, you could jump over to eBay and put that in, paste, and there's nothing there. So that tells me that if you were to just search for the Super HomeLink 2, you know, that you might come up with a bunch of different carburetors that say it does fit, but it won't. And but I'll just show you quick. You know, a lot of this stuff is no longer available. You know, and this is where the guys that are restoring their old saws are running into problems. It is no longer available, no longer available. They've discontinued all the parts for these machines because they've deemed it not a good enough revenue stream to have it there. But it breaks it all down for you for the rewinds. But this is where you want to be looking for your parts. You don't need to be a dealer. I'm showing you Jack's, which is for use by the public. All you got to do is just punch in a part number or a model number, and one of the guys are going to be carrying that model number. And that just makes it so much easier for you. Let's go with the rewind. That says it's no longer available. I'll be surprised if anybody's got it. Okay, they don't have it. The other, let me go here. So hopefully this is kind of will help you out a little bit on you guys that are trying to find the parts. You know, the biggest issues that I'm seeing is like for the Super XL2, or the Super 2 HomeLink, if you just punch that in to eBay, you know, HomeLink Super 2 carburetor, you may get a list of carburetors that aren't correct. But if we go to Jack's and we bring up the schematics and we find what the carburetor number is, and then we go looking for it based on the carburetor number, that will give you a better, truer result, is what I'm trying to say. Because like I say, a lot of these Chinese sellers, they don't care whether it fits or not. All they care about is sales. And for most homeowners, they get it and they assume it's something that they're doing wrong, and they just chalk it up, and the Chinese make money off you. You know, some of you guys will send it back, but most guys will just toss it into a bin and just chalk it up to, you know, not knowing enough. So hopefully that'll help you guys out. If you have any questions or comments, you know, something that I missed that you would like to see, leave it in the comments. All right. Thanks so much for watching.